Chapter 10. Testing, the first duty. Once you have isolated your prospect or customer as an individual, two activities will govern your success: testing and building a continuing relationship with your customers. Both are important, but you will never even start a relationship if you can't recruit the customer at the right price. Moreover, once customers are recruited, they will never prove as profitable to you as they might unless you test your communications to make sure they bring in the maximum return for you. So testing is your first duty as a direct marketer. Apart from anything else, it will ensure you don't lose money, and that is what you have to concern yourself about first. Ways you can learn by testing. It does not matter what media you are in, or how much you spend, you can test, observe your results, and learn from them. Some methods are far more statistically reliable than others. But all are better than just using your own judgment. 1. The A-B split. Many publications are printed on cylinders, with each cylinder printing more than one copy of a given page on it. So it is possible for a cylinder to carry different advertisements on the same page of a publication. Thus, you can have the publication printed so that one half of the copies have one piece of copy, and the other half a different one. This is what an A-B split is. In some cases, you can have a four-way split. But the reason why these splits are so valuable is that the copies of the publication bearing the advertisements you wish to test come off the presses alternately in the case of an A-B split, or in sequence in the case of a four-way split. In this way you get very close to statistical perfection. There can be no geographical or other bias, and each newsagent is delivered a pile of papers with alternate examples of the advertisements you are testing. Newspapers normally charge you for arranging a split run, but when you realize that one ad may be 2 or 3 times as effective as another, this is a small price to pay. 2. Split run inserts. The weakness of the A-B split is that in most publications you can only test 2 things at a time, occasionally 4. But the ability to insert material which you have had preprinted yourself into publications gives you considerably greater flexibility. The drawbacks of the insert are that the initial print cost will almost certainly be greater than most ads, so you must balance this expense against the benefits. Time, too, is an important factor. It can be infuriating to wait for a magazine carrying your insert to publish, and then to have to wait again until a sufficient percentage of the results is in before you project. You must, therefore, beware of making hasty decisions on the basis of early insert results. A few years ago, when testing a series of inserts for a knitting card club, we made a costly error. In the early run of responses, one of these inserts was doing very well. Copy deadlines were looming, so we prepared an ad based on this insert. As further results came in, it turned out the early winner was not in fact by any means the best insert. Another one did much better. But by the time we learned we were wrong, it was too late to do anything. So, although the insert may be a more flexible medium for testing, a daily newspaper split run gives you a shorter copy date with results that come in much sooner than with a monthly or weekly magazine. In a fast-moving world, that can be important. 3. Split run mailings. This is the third major test bed for your business, and in some ways the most valuable. That is because there is a wide range of outside lists available for you to test, and you also have your own database which can be segmented down according to any number of variables. In this way you can test new lists, new approaches, and the effect of particular approaches upon particular segments. Fundamentally, you can divide mailing tests into tests of new lists and tests of new approaches. But you must remember 2 things. Always test a new list with your existing, proven package, or banker. This is obvious sense. If you try new copy, you will never know whether it was the new list or the new copy that worked. By the same token, every time you test new copy, make sure it is tested against your banker. You can't rely on comparing what your banker did last time out and what a new piece of copy does this time out. 4. Geographical splits. Most publications don't offer A-B split facilities, but they often publish different geographical editions. This enables you to test many ads simultaneously in different parts of the country. The problem is, of course, that different areas respond very differently, so you have to allow for that when testing. You can do this in two ways. Break down your customer file and response records by geographical areas. Monitor the results. You can then relate your own historical experience of geographical variations to the number of replies coming in from the various regional editions of the publication. Don't forget, though, that you have to allow for the relative circulation in each geographical area of the particular publication you are using. This can also cause misleading bias because it may differ from the geographical bias amongst your own customers or the population at large. If you rotate your copy region by region so that each piece of copy appears in each region, you can then make allowances for such biases. Thus, first you run ad A in the north and ad B in the south on week 1. Then you do it the other way round on week 2. Add the results of the two tests together and you have a fair reading. Rotating more than once will make this more reliable. 5. Telescope testing. If you have statistical indications, you may already have worked out another, very valuable form of test, valuable because it enables you to learn faster. This is a test in one publication using both a geographical split and an A-B split simultaneously. For example, if you test ads X and Y on an A-B basis in the southern editions, while splitting X and Z in the north, you should have a good indication as to which of the three ads is best. To be sure, you repeat the process, rotating the tests so as to eliminate any possible geographical bias. To learn more, you then take the winning ad and use it as a control against two more ads, in the same way. Note that you must have one ad in both geographical areas, as a control. This method enables you to learn even faster, and is particularly useful with publications which have many geographical editions. 6. Your own database. You already know that the customers you seek are similar to the ones you already have. That's why your own database, apart from being the cheapest and most accessible test medium, is probably the most valuable one. Apart from anything else, your customers are almost invariably the most responsive group of people you can reach, so you are far less likely to lose money with them. As your knowledge grows, you will constantly be able to compare the response you get from your own customer file and that which you get on the same offer when made to other lists, or in other outside media. In this way, once you have tested an offer to your list, you can project roughly what it is likely to do elsewhere. Unquestionably, the cheapest way to test a new offer is to try it as a bounce back. That is, an insert when sending out merchandise or welcoming people to your service. There's no extra postage, the people receiving it are the hottest of buyers. This is the very best time to catch them because they are happy with what you have sent them, you will get a very high response. This means small numbers of inserts will suffice. Sometimes, you can put together a modest leaflet to test several possible offers simultaneously. In the same way, an insert placed in one of your regular communications to your customers, a statement for instance, is also a very cheap and effective test medium. In all these cases, you can often use existing printed inserts and save money. Many forget this and waste money needlessly. 7. An AD catalog. Another way of reaching your customers to find out what might work outside because what works in your catalog should do well with the similar people you seek. However, this form of testing is indicative rather than decisive. The catalog is a medium with its own peculiarities. Don't forget, a product which works in a catalog may not work on its own. However, although what works in a catalog doesn't always work elsewhere, very often it does. And certainly, if you find something is doing extremely well in a catalog, it ought to work elsewhere. Some companies simply have catalogs which consist of reproductions of all their advertisements. This is a very, very inexpensive way of putting together a catalog. It will also make it easier for you to insert a new product in the accepted format within your catalog. 8. Questionnaire. Constructing a questionnaire mailing requires a knowledge of research, for it must be a combination of research document and mail shot. Too many are seduced into selling at the same time and thus erode the validity of the responses. To your own list, a well-written letter with a questionnaire should pull a 50% or higher response, depending on the closeness of the relationship between you and your customers. But you must emphasize that you are asking them to give you advice that will help you serve them better in the future. Help us to help you is the appropriate theme. Properly written, such questionnaires do not even require inducements to be completed, though many companies offer a modest gift. 1. For instance, adopts the ingenious and worthy ploy of making a gift to charity in return for each response. This whole subject of the series of mailings you can employ to pre-test your product or service calls for lengthy treatment. However, it is well worth your attention because it is the key to a systematic approach to selling which will virtually eliminate the possibility of any large-scale loss. 9. Radio and TV. As test media, both TV and radio have a great advantage: speed of response. Their great disadvantage is that translating what works on television or radio into print is difficult. Nevertheless, radio in particular is an ideal test medium. The production costs are low. The tape of a commercial can be altered so that you can easily and inexpensively insert or delete particular phrases. And one thing we have learned in this business is that particular phrases can make a phenomenal difference. Moreover, many small radio stations charge relatively little for time. One thing you should never forget is that the object is to learn, not to make a profit. A test that loses you money today may yet tell you enough to make you a fortune tomorrow. Too many people try to test and make money. That is nice when it happens, which is quite often, but it is not the primary object of the exercise and is short-sighted. 10. Small AD tests. The small advertisement is a much underutilized test medium, and yet it can be immensely valuable. The only difference between a small ad and a large one is size. Every element that a large ad can have, a small one can have. A headline to attract attention, with maybe a small picture to illustrate it. Copy to make you want to buy. Mention of a premium. And a demand for action, with possibly even a coupon if the ad is above a certain size. You can't split-run small ads. Most media won't allow for splits on sizes smaller than 20 centimeters double column. But you can alternate them day after day for a couple of weeks to get a reading. This also applies to classifieds, the most cost-effective spaces of all. 11. Shrinking your ads. You may have a number of large ads you want to test. But you could well be appalled at the cost of full-scale tests. Once again, think about small ads. Shrink your large ads, retaining the same elements. You already know from pages 114 to 5 that a quarter page can be twice as cost-effective as a full page. You already know that the headline is by far the most important element in the ad. So all you have to do is retain the significant factors you think the large ads have, and test them smaller. Many people are reluctant to run a smaller ad. They rue the fact that it won't make as much money. 12. The telephone. Obviously, it is very easy to split-run appeals on the phone. What is more, good telephone people will be able to tell you, within hours very often, which appeals are hitting the mark. Within a very short period of time you'll be able to find out. Though you must be very careful to let people tell you their real opinions, not what you wish to hear. a true and proper record. Yet keeping records is no great affair. Most mail order companies have a system. You can work one out quite simply. It merely needs to record everything about the particular communication and everything about the results. It has to be a true and proper record. It doesn't matter whether you keep it on paper or on computer, accuracy and detail count. Details of when and where it appeared or was mailed. A copy of the mailing, insert, ad or details of the commercial. How it was posted and how people were asked to reply. Reply paid, stamped, first class, second class, no stamp, telephone, free phone, and so forth. Whether and any political or heavy news events or holiday period that might have affected results. Position of ad. Whether it backed onto another coupon. The same consideration applies to inserts. How many other inserts did it go out with? What was the environment? Results day by day and cumulatively. Conversion rates day by day and cumulatively. Anything else your common sense tells you is relevant. When you see a result which seems to you bizarre or unexpected, take a closer look. Take a good look at the publication and all the other circumstances surrounding that particular result. You may find something you had not bargained for, like a competitor's ad or mailing on the same day. Your results are the most valuable thing in your office apart from your mailing list. They are your map of where you have been and your compass to where you should go. Don't leave them to the office dog's body. Keep an eye on them constantly. The future of marketing, 10 predictions, and a health warning. 1. Direct marketing will take over. Most ads now carry postal or email addresses or phone numbers, but many are chiefly designed to influence attitudes. Many packs now carry phone numbers, usually free, for customers to call. However, this can be classified as customer service. But however narrowly or widely you define it, and such quibbles are probably a waste of time, direct marketing is taking over. One reason is that all transactions made on the fastest growing new medium ever, the internet, are direct. What's more, nearly all the tricks that direct marketers use work just as well, or better, on the internet. A good example is the bounce back. Mail order firms use this technique when they put inserts in the packaging they send products out in. It is also a standard telemarketing method. Using the same principle, if you buy a book on marketing from Amazon.com, they will immediately offer you other books which they think you might like almost instantly. 2. The internet will disappoint its wilder advocates. Will internet ever be more than just an additional medium, like the telephone, fax and snail mail, through which you can reach people and get replies? Even Bill Gates observed, during World Book Day in 1999, that print has advantages over web pages. It is easier to read and flick through, and is much more portable. Records were going to kill live concerts, television would destroy book reading, video catalogs would be the death of printed catalogs. When a book is serialized on television, its sales soar. When a record climbs the charts, thousands flock to hear the artist in person. Because life is often dull and business life is often extremely dull, we love the idea of sudden dramatic change. But change is usually gradual. Indeed, the influential American business thinker, Peter Drucker, suggested a while ago that new ideas generally take about 40 years to become pervasive. Take the use of the computer to build and exploit a database. It has been 40-odd years since the Reader's Digest started using them, but how many marketers use them properly, even now? 3. Those who ignore direct marketing principles will perish. Soon, every serious business will use direct marketing, not just tactically to retain customers or cross-sell, but as an essential tool to launch and maintain brands and businesses. Major firms like Procter & Gamble or Mercedes have made direct marketing respectable. 20 years ago they thought it beneath them. Now they see it as vital and are starting to exploit its full range of possibilities. As we have seen, only gradually have marketers begun to understand the discipline. Many stumbled upon it by chance. Some were doing it unknowingly when they sent out direct mail spasmodically, phoned up prospects, or ran coupon ads. Some sought a measurable return on their investment in inquiries or sales. Others wanted to know which messages and which media were most effective. And recently, fancy labels have lured many, as the following suggests. I'm still doing direct marketing, but I call it relationship marketing now. The clients hated direct because it involved difficult stuff like doing ads that work and getting sums right. They love relationship marketing. Even they can have a relationship. That was from Graham McCorkle, who founded one of Britain's first good direct marketing agencies and became chairman of the Institute of Direct Marketing. 4. Direct marketing will be used more intelligently. Many now use direct marketing, but not very well. They will learn to. Banks will wonder if spending millions on mass advertising is always as wise as selling to one customer at a time through direct marketing. Retailers, who used to focus on this week's sales compared to last week's, are beginning to realize they are better off making customers and keeping them for longer by talking directly. Most are building databases and trying to exploit them, often through loyalty programs. Many of these are little more than long-term systems of bribery. Their real value derives from the information that they can throw up. But as playwright and journalist Keith Waterhouse once noted, the belief that knowledge is power is erroneous if there is nothing to be done with the knowledge that you have so expensively taken possession of. Most direct marketing is still aimed at the end user or consumer, but shareholders, employees, wholesalers, members of the trade and intermediaries such as brokers are more pivotal to success. This will be increasingly recognized. Direct marketing can influence any audience, be used by every kind of enterprise, and deployed via any medium. Not either direct mail, direct response, the internet, telephone contact, or door-to-door, but all of these in a variety of appropriate sequences and combinations. 5. Companies will not only build databases, they will use them properly. As you may recall, the database means that you can analyze the characteristics of your customers to learn which are most profitable, then seek similar prospects. Record the history of your relationship with particular customers or prospects so that you can say the right things to the right people at the right time, and in the right way. Unfortunately, firms have squandered millions on databases but too often found them impractical, or, worse, they have not known how to use them. They have been seduced by an appealing concept without understanding its practicalities. They will start to get it right. The full benefit of your own medium, the database, is rarely appreciated. Compared with outside media such as television, it confers unique controllability. You can use a personal computer to manipulate data about segments within a database, perhaps overlaid with outside geographic or demographic information to plan and target more effectively. Marketers will realize they, not external service bureaus, should control such a powerful weapon. They will manage their database planning directly. Functions that they have been advised about by agencies can be carried out by themselves. 6. Business will learn the importance of customer value. Most firms manage their marketing to suit themselves, which is crazy. Take budgets. A firm might take a percentage of turnover or overhead as the right marketing budget. Many are led by short-term thinking. Recognize any of the following? We need more sales volume, let's spend more money. We have to send more profit to the US. Spend less on marketing. Last year, we had a good year. Put up the budgets. Or vice versa. Our new CEO wants to change the world. Increase marketing spend. 5 years later, our old CEO hasn't changed the world. How can we get better figures? Slash marketing budgets. Professional direct marketers, many are not, unfortunately, first ask how much the customer is worth. This thinking will start to influence businesses without a direct marketing heritage because it makes sense. 7. Marketers will realize all customers are not created equal and act accordingly. Direct marketing is perfect for reaching lucrative minorities. The classy direct marketing media, direct mail and the phone, are very costly per individual reach. But they are intrusive and memorable. In future, intelligent marketers will concentrate more on directly reaching those customers most likely to be big spenders. 8. Marketers will use direct messages for more than just selling. Relevant, thoughtful messages, whether they sell or not, are a service to customers. Even a questionnaire or phone call asking the customer's opinion can be flattering. Besides being a good form of market research, it increases sales. These things keep customers with you, spending more. What is more, they are far more profitable than trolling for new customers. As you know, it is several times easier to sell to the customer you've got than someone identical who is not a customer. Direct marketers learned that years ago, but most other firms are only now realizing it.